Welcome back. It's time for a little foreplay. In today's foreplay, we have Terrence Nelson of Ethos, and he's here to discuss the importance of self-care for Black men. So Terrence, why is it important for Black men to practice self-care? And tell me a little bit more about Ethos.
So I'll speak about how did Ethos come about. So in my beginning stages of, growing a beard, keeping myself up to par when it comes to grooming, there was not much selection inside the supermarket or the drugstore that were actually catering towards Black men, right? So a lot of people, especially in Canada, if you walk through the aisles, there is basically one shelf item just for men, all that other stuff, that's it. But if you're looking for other products, especially cater to different races, you'll see a whole aisle full of different options that people could actually, pick, choose, and refuse.
Right.
So that's where Ethos came along, right? And Ethos is more about how we're building confidence in Black men, just to make sure when you're feeling and you're looking your best, when you look your best, you actually feel good as well, right? So that's kind of building your confidence when it comes to grooming, and that's what Ethos stands for.
I love it. I love it. So we're going to invite Carrie on later at the outro back to talk about the importance of it, because I was saying in the last segment that, Black women kind of, we always talk about our self-care routines. Yeah. It's like all over social media. This is me taking a bath. This is me doing a walk. Like, this is the cream that I'm putting on my skin. Yes. But very rarely do I see a Black man talk about his self-care routine online.
That is true. That is true. It is changing now, especially with social media. You have a lot of people out there being a little bit more vulnerable, being a little bit more out there and telling people what they do. So you're seeing the paradigm shift when it comes to Black men being a little bit more accepting of being more catering to their appearances.
Yeah. It's funny that it's not, I feel like that's so weird to say that you're being vulnerable by practicing self-care.
It's just speaking about it,
no,
right?
I know,
it's
right?
Crazy, right?
Yeah. We literally don't think about the fact that you didn't even have the language to say to yourself that you were going to take care of yourself. And that's why you probably never said it.
We never called it that, because I remember back in the day, and not to say that I ever was blessed to have waves like that, but guys would share tips and tricks on how to get waves, how to make it spin, the do-rags. That was always a conversation, but it was never like, call it self-care. It was
right.
It was just conversation we had, right? And one pivotal part to that too was the boar brush. Like, that was a staple when everybody went to get a haircut. You'll see them combing it in the school hall, on the streets, getting it right. The Afro pick was another big thing as well. Like, these things have been in our culture for a long period of time. It's just that a lot of times people kind of miss out on it, or if they're transitioning, especially from a young adult to a grown man, and you start growing facial hair and you want to, it's the in thing now.
Absolutely.
It's not something that people understand how to take care of, because a lot of times people do not know how to take care of it, and then they run into issues, which then they'll shave it off.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Because they don't know how to take care of it.
Exactly. Right?
I did that once, actually, and
I
I grew it back.
You grew it back.
And
right?
I actually did a Instagram poll a couple months ago, and I was like, should I cut it? And like 99.9% of people said no.
Don't cut it. Like,
but you did anyway. You had to.
No, this is recently, but I said I had a beard before, like several years ago, and I cut it, and then yeah.
What's in Ethos?
3 products. So our first one here, we have the beard cream from Ethos, right? Now this product here, you can use on a daily basis, but we have natural products in there such as, shea butter.
I love the packaging.
Thank you very much. Everything was Black design.
Very quality.
Yes, yes. Oh yeah, there you go. There's one for you too, sir. And one of the active ingredients in it as well is black seed oil. Now this helps with inflammation, is very good for the hair and skin. So in the beginner stages of growing a beard, a lot of people say it's itchy because the hair is coarse. The shea butter and the black seed oil will help eliminate the itching feeling that you have when you're first growing your beard.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So you're calling this beard cream oil.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between this and the wax? Because I use the wax right now.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
But we're talking about Ethos.
But it's a good point though, because he's bringing up a different style of what people are mainly seeing in the mainstream, right? And a lot of times when you're seeing these beard companies, you're seeing these lumberjack men, and they're white men, and they have a different type of hair texture, right? Their hair is straight. So they can use stuff like beeswax on their beard because they want to get a specific hold so it doesn't shift when the wind blows, because that's how their hair moves, right? One reason why I do not use that in my product is because what it does is it coats your hair and then it makes it real brittle and easy to break. Right, and a lot of times, I'll give that to you, my friend. Take it in there, put it in your hand. I want you to see how easy it is to turn from a little solid state to an oil state. And just tell me.
Smells good. That
Smells good,
that's always a good beginning.
When I did my market research, the women all loved this scent. I had 7.
I missed that market research.
And
I apologize. I'll get you the next one when we do the cologne.
And that's a good pull there, because I find men, when it comes to this type of stuff, will often follow the lead of a woman's preference, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So if the women like the smell of it, the guys are definitely going.
And I'll tell you
Into
one
it.
interesting fact as well.
Yes.
Majority of the people that actually purchase ethos are women.
Oh yeah, I was just thinking, who am I
they-
going to buy
they
this
purchase
for?
it for the men. They're like, the first thing they do is they'll crack it open. Oh,
Yeah,
I love
I-
this scent.
Yeah,
And that's it.
yeah.
The difference between the oil is so
So
white
the-
men, because of their hair texture, can
So,
use.
for instance, the
Yeah.
cream, there's no beeswax, there's no wax period, right? So, reason why I don't use that, because when you put that onto your hair, it coats it and makes it brittle, right? With our hair, it's curly and it's easy to break, especially when it's dry. So when it's brittle, that's basically another formation of how it's dry. And then when you're putting on, in this day and age, you're putting on these masks because of COVID, you're in your bed, you're rolling in your pillow, you're just even touching it, you're breaking your hair. Easier to break your hair. And that's why a lot of people, when they use wax, or black people, they don't see a lot of growth because it's breaking constantly, especially when they comb it out or pick it out.
Yeah.
With that, it's weakened state, it will snap, it will break, and you won't get that healthy, longer beard that a lot of people look for.
I get that, because with having locks, it's like I use coconut oil to do my hair, not beeswax. I never started my hair with beeswax. So I get the concept of what you're talking about.
You call it a beard cream.
Yes.
But it's also safe for the skin. It's good for the
It's
skin.
100% safe for the skin, right?
yeah.
There's a lot of active ingredients here, and I'll go back to black seed oil just because it is.
Can it even double as a body, a moisturizer?
You can, but it's specifically formulated for your hair
Right.
and your skin under your hair, right?
Okay.
Because that's something that people do not tend to take care of.
Right.
And that will bring me back to the, one of the other products that we
So
have
can
here.
can I put, say, this beard cream, say
Yeah.
I try to be innovative with your product, and
Yeah.
congratulations on it, by the way.
Thank you.
And I put it on my hair like in the old days, remember we used to...
You will
yeah,
not
right?
have a
And then
problem
we
using
do-rag.
that.
Exactly.
You will not have a problem using that.
All right.
This is something that's all natural, so anywhere on your body you put it, it's only going to be beneficial.
Tamari, you get the last word.
Last word. This has been a learning experience for me, hearing the stories, the perspectives, the experiences. I learned so much. But I also just want to quickly end by saying that this book has people writing from around the world, and their narratives, the research that they're doing, issues around gay men in slavery, in Brazil, Cuba,
Yes.
images of black men in Japan and the Philippines and in India. So there's a lot going on in the book that centers on a lot of the themes
That they're
that
experiencing.
came out in this conversation, direct, like personal experiences.
Yes.
That it says to me that I'm heartened that the book will be a part of the conversation that is emerging, that really helps to restore black men to their own sense of their humanity, and then to build stronger relationships with others thereafter.
Someone wise once told me that the best way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. Our sexual education and relational wellness is that elephant. So, whatever you need to do to make sex and relationships great, do that. We'll see you next time on Late Night Cocktails.